The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has also joined the fight for Africa liberation. According to the president of Ghana, during the AU meeting, he gave a powerful speech talking about the theme, which is justice for Africa, Africans in the diaspora, and all that it takes for the African freedom. And this is important for we the blacks. According to him, we have to keep fighting, like we are saying, for the justice, what we have been going through. We know what this colonialism has brought to us, apartheid and the slave trade. About 12.5 million, according to him, were taken out of the African continent, and over 2 million of them perish. Until date, even our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are still not free. The kind of treatment that they still give to these people is something that they have forgotten, that what they have today is as a result of the sweat of the African. Wherever we go worldwide, we are not recognized. Everybody tramples on us. The African has become something that the world do not value. Some even prefer to value other things than the African. We've seen what they have been doing to us. So he's also calling on the African to stand up, do more than we are talking, for us to call for justice for Africans. And we know this justice that we are calling for. If we truly mean it, we can do it. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be used by these people to their gain. We have to unite.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Chairman, President of Angola, Your Excellency, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency, Chairperson of the African Union, and in the interest of time, may I just proceed on established protocol and say, Your Excellencies, my colleague, heads of state, distinguished citizens. It's a privilege to address this historic launch of the African Union theme of the year 2025, and I quote, "Justice for Africans and the people of African descent through reparations," unquote. This moment marks a significant milestone in our collective pursuit of justice, equity, and the long overdue recognition of the historical injustices that continue to shape the lives of Africans and the people of African descent worldwide. At the 37th Ordinary Session of the Assembly of the African Union in February 2024, our heads of state and government made a landmark decision to dedicate the year 2025 to the cause of reparatory justice. This decision underscores our collective commitment to addressing the historical injustices and their lingering consequences that have impacted generations of Africans and people of African descent. It aligns with our broader struggle for liberation, unity, and socio-economic empowerment as enshrined in Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, a vision for an integrated, peaceful, and prosperous continent. Your Excellencies, the transatlantic slave trade was one of the most heinous crimes against humanity, spanning about 400 years and forcibly displacing more than 12.5 million Africans. It is estimated that at least 2 million of our compatriots perished during the Middle Passage alone. The legacy of this brutal system, along with colonialism, apartheid, genocide, and neo-colonial exploitation, have left deep and enduring scars on the fabric of our societies. Today, the descendants of enslaved Africans continue to face economic disparities, social inequality, systemic discrimination, and racial prejudices. Addressing these challenges requires more than just acknowledging them. It demands action. The economic impact of colonialism on Africa has been profound. Historical estimates suggest that the continent lost trillions of dollars in both human and material resources due to colonial exploitation. The forced extraction of wealth, which included minerals, cash crops, and labor, deprived African nations of the capital and infrastructure necessary for sustainable development. Colonial policies intentionally stifled industrial growth, leading to a dependency on foreign economies that persists even till today. The systemic plundering of Africa's natural resources, coupled with the disruption of traditional governance structures, has resulted in lasting consequences, worsening poverty, underdevelopment, and inequality throughout the continent. In November 2023, Ghana hosted the Accra Reparations Conference, a historic gathering that brought together African heads of state, scholars, and representatives of the global African diaspora to advance the reparations movement. This conference reaffirmed the urgent need for comprehensive reparatory justice and laid the foundation for stronger advocacy and policy frameworks. It provided a platform for dialogue on the financial, cultural, and social restitution necessary to address the enduring effects of slavery and colonialism. The outcomes of this conference served as a guiding pillar for our collective efforts moving forward. The 2025 AU theme of the year is therefore a call to galvanize efforts towards reparatory justice. It is an appeal to ensure that the dignity, rights, and well-being of Africans and their descendants are fully restored. Reparations involves not only financial compensation, but also restitution, rehabilitation, and guarantees of non-repetition for the abuse of fellow human beings. It is also about truth-telling, historical accountability, and the restoration of agency to those who have been marginalized for centuries. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the call for reparations, while including, extends beyond financial redress to encompass addressing structural inequalities, ensuring educational and economic opportunities, reclaiming cultural heritage, and amplifying the voice of Africa and the diaspora communities on the global stage. Achieving justice requires multi-stakeholder collaboration. Today's pre-launch event serves as a crucial platform for concertedly rolling out constructive consultation, dialogue, and partnership. We welcome the participation of AU member states, regional economic communities, the global African diaspora, civil society organizations, academia, the private sector, and international partners in this transformative endeavor. The African Union Commission, in collaboration with key partners, have developed a concept note and revised the roadmap to guide the implementation of the reparations agenda. This initiative will further the aspirations of Agenda 2063, fostering an Africa that is self-reliant, just, and inclusive. Through this launch, we seek to, among other things, mobilize political will and commitment towards reparatory justice and racial healing, present and discuss the roadmap for implementing the 2025 theme of the year, foster partnerships among AU member states, diaspora communities, and like-minded international allies, engage stakeholders in resource mobilization efforts to support reparations initiatives across Africa, elevate awareness and advocacy to ensure sustained engagement beyond 2025, encourage dialogue and knowledge sharing among experts, policymakers, historians, and affected communities, and finally, to ensure an end to the culture of silence and denial on racism and colonialism. Your Excellency, the work ahead requires a unified voice, a clear strategy, and unyielding commitment. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to working together to develop policies and frameworks that will support reparations efforts across Africa and beyond. We must continue to advocate for stronger legal and institutional mechanisms at the national, regional, and international levels to ensure that reparatory justice for the historical trauma inflicted on global Africa is not just a conversation, but a reality. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I wish to express Ghana's unwavering support for this critical initiative. Let us seize this moment with the determination it deserves as we work together towards a future that is fair, that is just and equitable for all Africans and people of African descent, and by natural extension, the uplifting of all humanity. I thank you.
Unity is the most important thing. Socio-economic empowerment that we are looking for. Like Mia Amor said, it is we that can give ourselves everything that we want. These people are fighting us every blessed day, making sure that the African never rise up. And we are the ones that are helping them to always do what they are doing to us. We have to rise and fight against all these things that the oppressor has kept in place. And we know the systems that this oppressor has kept in place to make sure Africa never gets where it's going. And we have always been the gatekeepers of these systems that the oppressor has kept in place. Africans, we deserve justice. Justice for ourselves, for all the things that have been done to us, all the pain that these people have caused to us. But if we ourselves can never unite, we will never get the justice that we deserve. If we don't put the ethnicity aside, we will never get the justice that we want. These people have now used a weak point, which is the discrimination that they created among us, to always use that to go away and get away with everything that they have caused to the African. Because if A wouldn't say yes, B will say. And that is why till date, these people have succeeded in turning us against ourselves. And after grouping us under their colors, as Joshua Mampanga will say, we don't see beyond the borders. We don't see beyond the colors that we're grouped in. We still live in the dream and the shadows of the colonial system. We deserve justice in Africa and those in the diaspora. And we have to do everything possible to reunite with our brothers and sisters. I posted a video when Captain Ibrahim Traore said he's calling everyone, and some are saying that even our brothers in the diaspora, some of them are going through tough time, and that it's not everybody who is there that is rich. I am not saying he's calling the rich. It's not materially rich that you see in someone and say the person is rich. We don't care whether the person is having materials or not. All we are asking you to do is to come home. How can you be living in tent, yet you can come here and have a place to put your head? All that matters to us is our brothers in the diaspora to come back home. Come and stay here. Yes, you get a place to stay. And if you have any skill that you are using to help Yolo Popo develop and still look down upon you, bring it home. If we are able to unite, even the brothers and sisters that are there that cannot even afford plane ticket to come, because we know some of them cannot even come, we can team up and do a project, get a place that we can bring these people to come back and stay at home. Here you will never go out and see people sleeping on the street, unless those who travel to the urban cities. Whatsoever the situation will be, you'll be at home. That's what we are saying. And until we unite, we can never defeat the oppressor. And the oppressor is doing everything possible to create the gap. And we have allowed the oppressor to keep manipulating and winning over us all the time. And that is why we are saying enough of it. And I am so glad that John Dramani Mahama is bringing this on board. This is what we need. We need to reunite with our brothers and sisters. We need to unite among ourselves. That way, Africa can fight for whatsoever that we need and has been denied. United we stand, divided we fall. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we stand forever and ever. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa,